I got pregnant for this shot. Hey everyone, I'm Milky Tran. Oh my god. And I'm gonna break down a few of my favorite shots. So this is from my Valentine's Day episode. The whole concept of the episode is letting go of someone that you love. This is the very last frame. It's from my web series Next Session. I was inspired by one of my breakups. One of the methods that someone suggested to let go of someone was a meditation where you would take this string that you feel connects you to the person that you think you should be with and actually cutting it. The way that we did it is we had a light right about here. It was just an RGB light and we sent it to this nice magenta color. This is my bedroom, by the way. I was wearing this like silky pink nightgown, which really helped bring the scene together of this softness, this feminine look that I was going for. I'm lying down and actually down here, that's just a disco ball that I have like laying on my ground because I'm messy. This is how you know I need a production designer. Is you could see all my crap on this nightstand. You could see my Vaseline. You could see the spray bottle that when my cat would misbehave when he was younger, I would have to spray him. It was super awesome to collaborate with my DP on it. His name is Johan. He's incredibly talented. We shot it in 60 frames per second because I wanted this ultra smoothness to the motion. You know, was practicing the motion over and over again of pulling the string out of my chest while also coordinating like this gentle graze against my leg. It was a lot of like coordinating back and forth. We did maybe like 6 to 7 takes, I would say. The beginning of the shot, I'm in the dark except for that splash of color on the wall. And slowly as I do the motion, the light mirrors that. We had this light on a dimmer and my DP Joe, as he saw me pulling it out of my chest, we just started opening this light. I could have just done this as a close-up and she's sitting in bed and she cuts the string, but that's not what I decided to do. I wanted it as a wide shot. I added a little digital zoom. I know it really resonated with my audience too because actually one of my followers asked permission to get it tattooed on their body and they did, on their chest, kind of big. So this shot is also from my series Next Session. I got pregnant for this shot. I thought of this episode idea after watching a TikTok about The Little Mermaid 2.
It's dangerous in the sea.
How would you know? You've never even been in it.
She was the Little Mermaid. It just started making me think about motherhood. Would my identity be solely being a mother? Would I forget everything I've built? Some sequences, you know, are to deliver story or deliver exposition. This is more to deliver energy. The starting frame of this is actually a close-up of this $115 Amazon pregnant belly that I bought. It's this silicone jelly light. It was so tight, to be honest, and I got a little claustrophobic. I was like, help, someone help me. I wanted to use this as a hook because I thought it was such a striking image. As an online creator, I know that your first few seconds have to be pretty scroll stopping. So we started the scene pretty tight just because I really wanted to start with some motion, some action. My DP, he's like probably here. We had it on extremely long lens. Because we wanted a really ultra smooth zoom, we used like the rig from a follow focus and we used that to control the zoom. So it was motorized. My DP, Harrison Wong, super talented. He pulled focus and we did a few takes like that. We did not light this at all. This was just a really lovely overcast day. Because it's overcast, the lighting is pretty soft. So I love this like cut of yellow, the belly peeking through the little blue shorts. It's just such a feminine image. The house that we decided to rent had this really lovely pattern in the back, so it just adds a little texture. If it was my world, these bars wouldn't be here. We would have seen the trees a little bit more. Probably this whole gate wouldn't be there, but I think it adds like a little bit of like an industrial lived-in touch. Ceiling titty. My movement in this scene, I'm kind of dancing by myself. And I think that's what I would do if I were pregnant and rich. My daughter that I ended up casting, she was funny. She was delightful. And it actually made me think, should I have a child? Would get pregnant. Moving on. Love. This is another episode of mine from Next Session. This one's called Dating Friends. The episode is about the idea of like, why don't you date your friends?
How was Pittsburgh? Your brother got married?
Yeah, it was good. I cried a lot. My brother, he's really reserved. And I've never seen him dance before. The idea of the episode is, why do we date people that we wouldn't be good friends with? I'm not telling you to date your friends, but it is something to consider. I wanted to think of a really cool transition that can show us later speaking at a table. You can't really see it in this frame, but we also have like a table right here, and then Ryan here, and then me with my luscious hair here. I wanted to really compress time and show we are having a great moment of chemistry here and that we're still at the bar at this restaurant. We locked down our camera and we lit this shot. We filmed this one first. Then we shot this frame separately. So in the edit, I basically did a mask here and then feathered it out so it blended. And to make it look like we appeared later, we added like a lighting cue. Look at that. We're doing the cheers here, and that's when the light swells and we open up and we're pushing in. But to create the dolly, I had to nest it, do some keyframes to just digitally enlarge it and zoom in so the ending frame feels a little bit more like here. We were very intentional with our color choices too. As you can see, this one is really warm, and it was my DP's idea to use a much cooler color. So we have like a blue light that's lighting us over here. I think that just shows a difference in location versus just warm and warm. It's just kind of a flat image. In this warmer moment, it's chemistry, it's fun, it's light. And as we shift to this moment in the back where it's lit a little cooler, it's much moodier. It's a little bit more about how your friends can help carry and support you during the harder times of your life. It made me realize there's a whole part of his life that I missed since I moved away.
Yeah. Sometimes you learn to love someone from afar.
I started off as a filmmaker. My manager was the one that told me I should start creating online. Those two mediums are so different. Creating online, it's fast. Visuals are supposed to be loud. They're supposed to be striking. I've really been trying to find my place in the entertainment space. They're really looking at creators now to lead the next wave of filmmaking. This is one of my favorite shots I've ever done. It's for my short film, Beautiful Girl. The story is about a Vietnamese granddaughter who caretakes for her Vietnamese grandmother with dementia and leaving her home alone for a night.
Bạn mấy tuổi rồi? Bạn mới dọn tới đây hả? Vậy bạn tự nhiên nha. Không có cần ngại.
This is inspired by my real life and something that happened with my own grandmother who had dementia. I just remember being in my brother's room one day and I hear my grandma speaking to someone, but it was strange because we were home alone. And I slowly crept around the corner and I saw that she was having a friendly conversation with herself, who she had thought was her neighbor. The cut right after this is actually the granddaughter's POV. So we had the camera on a Dana dolly. We did like a pan and also a push-in. So a pan is just tilting the camera on the axis, and then a dolly is actually pushing it in. So we started on the wall, pivoted, and then pushed in.
Vậy bạn tự nhiên nha.
Our colorist Calvin was incredible, and he just made me look at filmmaking in a different way. There was a little glare on the wall, and so we killed the glare. And when you kill that glare, it makes your attention look at something else. We also brought up the light in her face just so that image was more clear and it was a little bit more striking. You know, again, I could have started it right here. It could have just been a scene of her talking to herself, but I wanted to build intensity. I wanted to build curiosity. It kind of encapsulates the really quiet and unexpected moments of loving someone with dementia. With production design, we have big Asian blanket. That was really important. Joanna did a great job. We have some medicine. We have like a really soft light here, just filling in the room gently. Still colorful. You can see she's wearing purples and pinks over here. If this were for social media, I cannot start on black. What works is immediate clarity. You want your audience to immediately know what is going on. I think what was really liberating for me as a filmmaker is that I don't have to abide by those rules. I could build tone, I could build atmosphere. Filmmaking, it's just a much bigger sandbox that you can play in versus the rules of social media. I love this shot too. This was also another shot for my short film, Beautiful Girl. In this moment, it's her first private moment by herself where she's reflecting. So obviously we have a lot of reflections. I think sometimes filmmakers neglect a private moment. Those moments are so important to reveal the true emotions of a character. In the moment, she's deciding whether or not she should leave her grandmother home alone or meet her boyfriend's parents. That is the conflict, is that there's no one to caretake for her grandmother, so she has to make a decision. This is her decisive moment, like, okay, I'm doing this for myself. There was this one image I saw on Shot Deck where they use a 3-panel mirror. She is just looking at herself in the mirror, adjusting her bangs, and then swapping out her necklace for her everyday necklace to her elegant necklace because she is becoming a woman, getting her independence. Our production designer, Joanna, did a great job of sourcing this. I love the gold trim here. I love the peak of wallpaper here from our set. She's running late to dinner, so we can see the clock here. A little curler because these bangs are amazing. I think actually in the back too, we actually have some pandas in the back. We lit this pretty simply. You could see there's like this warm light in the background. What I really love about the room is it is pink. That's my favorite color. And we just have some like little photographs in the background. These are actual photographs of her life that our amazing production designer printed out and framed around the room. To me, filmmaking is putting your entire heart in it and trying to be as intentional as possible to tell your story. For filmmakers wanting to create online, just do it. You have the skill set. It's your exact skill set. You know how to make things look good. You know how to tell a story, and you know how to connect with people. So drop your ego a little bit, share your work online, and maybe you can find an audience that really resonates with what you have to say. Social media is a different medium, and there are different rules to it, but storytelling in its essence will always be the same.